to Grace Over Grit and Growth, the podcast where we celebrate women's journeys and empower each other to thrive in our personal lives, careers, and businesses. We're two women who are passionate about connecting with and inspiring others in our community. I'm Alita Anderson.
And I'm Monique Fisher. And today we have Miss Bennita Drain with us. Well, welcome.
Thank you, ladies.
Welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yes. So let me give you a little context on this. So Bennita and I have probably been friends for 20 years.
Yes.
Her kids are right in between my kids in terms of school age. And I met Bennita probably at some parenting PTO meetings. Then we were in book club together. And we've both been going through this journey of raising our children here in Bolingbrook. She also is very much an advocate for health and working out. She has helped me immensely with my journey of weight loss.
Yes.
She is a co-captain in Girl Trek. Many of you have heard me talk about Girl Trek. She's a Saturday co-captain. And so that journey has just been blossomed into a friendship.
Yes.
Right. And we
Yes.
get to share things about raising children. And as you all know, this is our motherhood doesn't end, it evolves. Okay. So we all have adult children. And so we brought Bennita here today to kind of talk to us about that journey
Yes.
a little bit. So
What a journey it's been.
so you have two beautiful daughters.
Yes.
And they are very active. Always have been in
Yes.
sports and school and extracurricular activities.
Right.
And so you've always been alongside them in that journey.
Yes.
I call it one of them great parents, honey. Everything, juggling, going to this one and this one.
Yes.
And I love it. I love that. So tell us how motherhood has been.
Motherhood has been a change. Like you said, it's a journey. When the girls were younger, like you said, I was either the Girl Scout leader or one of the coaches on the basketball team, or we were always there to support the girls and let them know that we loved them and we were proud of them.
Right.
So as the girls went on to college, now I'm at home kind of alone during the school year, but I missed them so much that I was running from one university to the next, just watching them play because they both played basketball in college.
Okay.
So I still felt like the girls needed me. I felt like my life went from a wife, a mother, and an employee to now I'm working and I have my girls, but I never really, my life just evolved around them.
Okay.
So on the
Okay.
weekends, either I was in Southern Illinois visiting one, watching her play, or I was in Iowa watching the other one play. So I was always on the move. As they became adults and didn't need me as much, I was sitting there like, what do I do with myself?
Yeah.
And I kind of went through a little depression for a minute. And I was like, okay, nobody loves me, but I know they love me, but
Right.
nobody needs me now. Not the way they needed me then.
Before.
Right.
Right.
And they probably didn't need me as much then, but I was just there. They had me. So that was it. So as they became adults and needed me less and for different things, then I had to figure out what to do for myself. So that's when my kind of little journey started, where that's when I joined Garza. Michelle, one of my friends from high school, she invited me to start with her, and I started with her. So that's when my health journey started there.
Okay.
It started there, then Girl Trek. And then other things started to evolve as I met like-minded women, like you ladies. Then it was like, okay, let's go line dance. All right, let's go. Let's go do this. Okay, let's go. So that's how my community started. My community was, the girls. Everybody that had to do with the girls.
Right.
Band, basketball, softball, whatever. Now my community has blossomed to be my community.
Your community.
Not the girls.
Not the girls.
Yeah.
Right. Not centered around them.
So then, okay, so how do you set healthy boundaries, right, without damaging kind of the closeness that you have? Because you're very close with your girls,
I am.
right?
Yes.
But you have your life,
yes.
they have their life.
Right.
So how do you set those boundaries?
It's hard setting the boundaries.
Okay.
I will say, because I want to interject. I know that they are adults, but at times you have advice that you want to give them. And I'm kind of that mom that's always on top. So the girls let me know. They
Okay.
definitely let me know.
Okay.
You know, Ma, I got this. Sometimes, Ma, I just need you to listen. I don't need you to tell me what to do. I need you to listen. And I had to step back and be like, okay. So I'm that kind of hot or cold person.
Mhm.
I'm not that in between. So
Okay.
if you tell me you just want me to listen, I'm not gonna say nothing. Then
Mhm.
it's like, Ma, you don't care. I do care. It's just you told me to be quiet. Now what the hell do y'all want?
Oh, right.
This
Exactly. What
way.
do you want?
So it's a constant change.
Mhm.
It's a constant. One may need me this time as more than the other. So even that's a change on, you know, who needs me. And then if you don't need me or you don't ask, then just step back and do you.
Yeah.
So I like I said, learning to have activities for myself keeps me from being as worried or as involved in their business
Yeah.
as I used to be.
Right.
Mhm.
Because I'm sure it's difficult to go from that fixer protector role, you know,
Absolutely.
to
Absolutely.
just I'm just a
I'm gonna
consultant.
sit
I
back.
guess a
Right,
consultant.
right.
If you will.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
just going when
It
you need
is,
me,
it is.
Call.
then
Yes.
you call.
And like I say, it was a time where I felt like, okay, is everything okay? Do I need to? And I'm telling my daddy because he does me like that. Still.
Okay.
Yes.
And I'm 56.
Okay.
So he still he
Yes.
looks out for me, and he in Louisiana.
Yeah, I was
They
gonna
look
say
out for
dad's
me.
in Louisiana.
Right.
Mhm.
Look out for
So-
me. And so I think that's where I get it from. But again,
It's
I
that
try and
protection.
step back to just let them tell me when they need me.
Yeah.
So, and it was hard doing it, but for the most part, I think I'm doing pretty good. The girls may say a little different, but I think I'm
But you
doing
know
good.
what I think is amazing? I think that to have adult children too who feel that comfortable,
Yes.
that you can tell you all are close. For them to be able to say, hey, I need a little space.
Right.
Because
Mhm.
sometimes, and then I know when I raise boys, you got girls. So
Girls,
girls are
yes,
maybe a little
yes.
bit more vocal.
Yes.
But for them to be able to say to you, you know what? I think that might be difficult for them too, to say, I need my
Yeah.
boundaries
Right.
Mhm.
and not,
Yeah.
you know, feel like they're offending you.
Right.
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 So they one Ashley, I'm gonna tell on Ashley too. She bought her place and I have a key.
Okay.
So she said, Ma, don't you be keying in my house because you got a key. But I said, but you know what? Don't key in mine.
Right. Exactly.
Right?
It's a two-way
It's a
street.
two-way
It's a
street.
two-way
Yes.
street. So I
Mhm.
had to learn that. Once she said that, I had to think about it. I said, well, you know what? This is my house now. Y'all got your own places.
Right.
So don't
They-
key in mine either.
Uh-huh.
Call first,
Yes.
phone first.
Uh-huh.
But guess who popped up at the house without letting me know they was on their way?
Mm.
So
So you gotta be careful what you say.
What
you
you
gotta
ask
be careful
for,
what
yes.
you
Careful what you
yes,
say.
yes.
And I will say both of her daughters are homeowners, which you know we love so
Yes.
much.
Very
So,
much so.
yes.
Mhm.
So we love that too.
Yes.
So when they see this, they'll feel like we said something right.
right.
Don't call me. Don't call me.
That's Miss Monique for.
Oh.
So what are you learning from the girls? What do you know?
I
Have you learned some?
I'm learning that they're actually doing what I taught them to do. And it bit me for a minute. We taught them to be independent young women,
Mhm.
and they are. So I have to trust that the foundation that they have is there, is set. They're going to make mistakes, yes. I'll be there when they need me, but I have to trust the process.
Mhm.
Right.
So that's what I'm learning.
That was about.
Yeah,
Did you want to
that's what they're teaching me.
And it is funny too because you said I'm in the middle of that. So I
Mhm.
have adult children that have children at home too. So it's like I get a little bit like, oh, well, we're gonna go here. But now it's funny to watch the dynamic that I have with the older ones where they're like, oh, we're all going over to our brother's house to have dinner. And I'm like, wait, we're not invited. Like, no, it's just the siblings. Like,
Right.
okay, so but then like you said, I'm like, okay, because that's one thing I want is that if we're not available, that y'all have each other's back.
Yes.
Yes.
So to kind of
absolutely.
see the things that you taught along the way
Mhm.
to be implemented, it does make you kind of feel like you're outside of the
Alright.
circle. Like, I'm
Yes.
created this circle.
Right,
Like,
right.
I'm
Wait a
not
minute.
sad.
Right. I get out here.
Yes.
But it is like you said, you want them to be independent, but you can't have it both ways.
Right.
But to look at it, it is a wonderful thing. So, are there any things or any times or advice? Do you give advice when you see things or when it's asked, or is there a combination?
There's a combination.
Okay.
A lot of times I see things going kind of in a rough direction,
Mhm.
and I know the girls' personalities, and sometimes
Okay.
they change,
Mhm.
but I know that if it's going to be a stressor for one, then I'll say, hey, how about we do blah, 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 blah. Or there's a couple times I'll just invite the girls over to let's have lunch together. Because I know it's work stress, it's stuff going on at one place or the other. It's just a whole lot going on. So I said, girls, let's get together, let's just have lunch. Or we'll go get our toes done. So I see things building up.
Yeah.
And then let's squash this before it even happens. Or sometimes they call me all the time, Mom, blah, blah, blah is going on. And what should I do? And so I get that quick advice and then I stop. Because then I don't want to be that overbearing where they can't come to me or don't want to come to me now because mama's doing too much.
Yeah.
So it's learning that not do too much thing.
Yeah. So some of that has evolved, right, to that point.
Absolutely.
So when when they went off to college and, all of the years in between until them purchasing their own homes, have you ever felt that you said something that was just wrong and then how do you come back from that? Extend yourself grace. We always talk about grace.
Yes.
So we all say something.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
We all
absolutely.
So that's not even the question. That's not really the question.
Right.
The question is
when I said
when
how did I come back from
Come on
that?
now, that's what I'm saying. How do you extend yourself grace? Just to say, I said it.
I said it, and I have to apologize. I have to come back and have to talk about it. I know I probably said too much when we talked about this subject, but this is my stance on it. It is always from a protective, not that I'm judging you. I love you.
Right.
And I'm trying to keep you from doing things that I know that mistakes that other people have made or I have made. So let's, we ain't everybody don't have to get burned on the stove. I'm just trying to protect you. And sometimes I have to learn to let them get that little burn.
Yes.
That way they'll learn. Nothing major, never nothing major, but just don't be that overbearing mama. I can't protect them forever. They're at the point where they're protecting each other now, which is funny to me because when they're at home, they was like this. Now they're protecting and loving on each other, which I love to see. That's one of my goals. I told them if I'm gone, y'all got each other. So take care of each other and that's it.
Yeah, and that's what you just said too.
Yeah.
You want your children to build
close.
that bond with each other. Because we do hear a lot about siblings that don't get along and you just wonder how does it get that bad? So that is truly a goal of having adult children you always, can support each other as much as you can.
Right.
Within boundaries too.
And I think it's important too, what you said, the intent behind what you're doing. Because I think when they know the intent is, they kind of get in front of like, I know that this might scare you. You're going to be worried because of this, but let me explain to you why, blah, blah, blah. Because they understand that the intent is not to, hey, I want to control your life and do this. My intent is to make sure that, you have all the resources that you need and you can make those decisions with all the appropriate information. Because like you said, I've traveled this road. And if I had known this, and this, I might have moved a little bit differently.
Right.
So I wanted to supply you so that you, are a peg up of where I was when I made those decisions, or I could see things differently because I've lived.
Absolutely.
So just know that when they know it's coming from concern and care and not a controlling aspect of it, it's received better.
Right. And then when they don't decide to make the decision that I kind of geared them toward, it's okay.
Yes.
And that's what I have to learn too. At one point, it was like, well, I'm thinking, what, they doing it wrong, blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't say it to them. But now I've gotten to the point where I'm like, okay, they decided not to go in that direction. It's okay. And sometimes it works out. Sometimes they may have to turn back and go that direction. But it's their journey.
Yes.
And that's what I had to learn for myself as well. This is their journey. I had mine. So let them make theirs, but with some motherly advice.
That's right. Because as we go through generations too, each generation looks at things differently. And it's no different from us becoming adults from our parents. Right.
Yes.
I know we definitely moved in different directions than what they wanted us to do, right? And trying to manage, and then trying to manage some of that. And it's hard. It's hard sometimes. But you're right. If it comes from love, then it's just,
it's
you can
better.
receive. You can receive it, and you can receive
sides.
it however you need to take from it.
Yeah.
So, what do you wish that the girls maybe understand about you being a woman beyond just being a mother?
I think they understand me a lot.
Okay.
I think they do. I think there's nothing that I haven't talked to them about. That's one
Okay.
thing I do. I'm thankful for that. My girls and I, we can talk about a lot of different things.
Okay.
There's really haven't been a subject that I haven't talked to them about, even though they're my children. I still, kind of talk to them. I'm single, so they know dating is gonna be there.
A part of your
A
life.
part of my life. So we've talked about that. Their likes and dislikes. Sometimes the girls act like they my mama.
Yeah.
So I'm like, slow down. I know what I'm doing.
Right.
Like you said, different generations learn different things, and they try and teach me stuff. But I'm like, I know what I'm doing. Just hold tight.
Yeah.
So it's a process for both of us. All three of us, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they try to protect you sometimes.
Yes, absolutely.
And do you feel that?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I do. I absolutely do.
And it probably comes from their experiences too, right? Because they're young women out there and they've dated, and so they've seen things, and so then they try to tell mom about boat running game and that type of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I love
No,
it.
and again, it's out of love.
Yes.
So
Yep.
I'm like, okay, I'm the mama, but I hear you. And we have to talk about different things. Sometimes we let things settle. And then I can come back and be like, okay, I heard you, but I'm good. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. So we're doing this whole series on motherhood, right? And so we're talking to you about a mom with adult children, but we're also talking to brand new mothers.
Okay.
So do you have any advice or anything that you would give, especially in that early stage or just as
the early stages of motherhood? I would say when the girls came, I was a wife, a mother, and I worked. That was it. It was no Bennita. And I've learned that there has to be time for Bennita. Whether it's an hour, whether it's a 30-minute walk every day. And I would say I wouldn't take the way my life was back for anything. For anything. I'm not saying I regret it at all, but that's what I poured into my family to grow, and I kind of lost myself. So once the girls grew up and didn't need me as much, I didn't know what to do with myself. And so that's why I was saying, any young mother, try and keep your identity.
Right.
But keep your family. I'm not saying neglect your family at all, but keep an identity for yourself. I used to play volleyball. That kind of slowed down because the girls had gymnastics or basketball or whatever. I probably should have kept doing that. I gained so much weight just not doing anything. And so, again, I wouldn't take back my life back for anything. I love what I did for my family. It's just I learned as they grew and didn't need me anymore that I probably could have kept a little bit of time for me.
Right.
That way I wouldn't be so lost when they didn't need me as much.
And that's what we're talking about, the evolution of
it. Yes.
And we're big on self-care too. So is there anything that you do that's like this is a must do? This is what I do when I time out for self-care. What is your thing or things?
It's several things now. It's an S. It's several things. I must work out.
Okay.
That is more than physical for me. It's a mental thing for me. I do sit home. I work from home. I sit home and work all day. So I go to the gym first thing in the morning. That I walk with Girl Track. I have to socialize. Okay. Because right now both girls have their own places. I'm at home alone. So unless I go get Mr. Bentley, my daughter's dog, to keep me company, my grandpuppy, to keep me company, but I have to socialize. Okay. I'm a social person, so getting out line dancing, getting out doing different things.
Line dancing, pickleball.
And
guess who she drag along with her?
So, look, our village.
Right.
You in the village too. But just getting out and moving this body. The older I get, the more pains and aches you get. So I'm trying to stay as healthy as possible, So just working out on the daily.
That's cool.
I'll tell you a quick story. So I had a knee replacement in 2018 in November. Girl, she had bought tickets for us to go to a concert in December, the day after Christmas. I was like, I can't go to no concert. Oh, yes, you can. They said it's been exactly 6 weeks. You can get out. We gonna drop you off at the door. And then it snowed that day. We was out in the snow. But you truly are a great accountability partner in terms of accountability partner, period. But especially in terms of, keeping his body moving and exercise and understanding self-care.
Yes.
It's big.
Yeah.
You want to talk a little bit about Girl Trek?
Yes, Girl Trek is a national organization for women, and we dedicate 30 minutes every day to just walk for your health. And also for the community. If our children see us moving our bodies and walking, then that would encourage them to live a healthier life, because we're showing them, not just telling them.
Right.
So it's getting out, walking, and when we walk and we talk. I've learned so many things. I don't have any sisters, so we talk about menopause. We talk about just different things going on, the hair, all kind of stuff. Before you know it, that 30 minutes is up.
Yeah.
This last week and this week, there's been a podcast that we listened to our 30 minutes of walking. So Girl Trek has been a really good, a good instrument for me to just like my things I like to do, socialize and exercise.
Yeah.
And we do a lot of things outside of that too. Okay. Like I said, line dancing. Sometimes we'll go and
just social.
Listen
we go to
the plays. We listen to music.
We go to concerts.
We go to concerts as a group.
Okay.
So
yeah, it's important. And
it's very important.
They hood with me at first. I'm at 30 minutes. They out there longer than that. Just a 30-minute walk. Wait a minute.
At your own pace.
At your own pace. But what I do love about it is they welcome everybody in, and no matter if you walk fast, slow, it's somebody out there to walk with you and for you.
Yes.
And so that's what's really, really important. But
we walk Tuesdays, 5 and 6. 5:30 and 6:30 at Remington, starting off. Thursdays, 5:30, 6:30 Remington. Saturdays, we're at Wallen Lake at 8 a.m. And I forgot Monday, we have a group in Romeoville. Yes, off of Airport Road.
Yeah.
And I believe they're at 6:30. So
we're here.
You see the ladies in like blue? That's us.
That's us. And the Bolingbrook Trekkers, we're celebrating the 10th anniversary.
Yes,
10th
our
anniversary.
10th anniversary. Yes,
of being out here in Bolingbrook.
Yes.
So it's important. Self-care is also
It's
important, which is what we talk
important.
about.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I just love the fact that you came.
Yes, and shared.
Accepted the
And gave us-
invitation.
Yes. I'm honored.
Wait a minute, and to help us all with this transition of
yes,
adults, because it's not
gems.
easy.
No.
It's not an easy transition, and you do have to really figure out how to let them kind of do their thing and live their life.
That's true.
And really help them to understand that the decisions you make will affect you, for the rest of your life. And
Absolutely.
so it's hard sometimes just sitting back and watching, but that's just what we have to do, especially when we know we've given them the foundation.
Yes.
Right. All of the kids, girls grew up in church. That was a big foundation.
It was, yes.
To you raising them. They've had Girl Scouts. They've
basketball,
softball.
Even now they're playing flag football,
they play
and I'm there. I'm there. Yes, I'm there on Sundays.
They play on Sundays, flag
Yes.
football.
Yes.
And so that all comes from the foundation that you gave them,
Yes.
right? And them supporting each other, and then always checking on mama.
Yeah, they
And
do.
I love
that. They do.
Yeah,
it's coming
you don't
full
have
circle.
to. You don't have
It
to
is.
ask
It really is.
them to come check on you or call. They do it on your own. So that sets the tone. That tells you about who you are and what you gave them.
What's important.
And I've met your parents too, and they
Yes.
poured into you all.
Yes,
so
they did. Yeah, our family is a very tight, close-knit family.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's important.
Yeah,
It
they
is.
come in town to support the grandchildren's graduations and stuff like that. So we try and get to see them as much as possible.
Because it's a graduation.
It's this year.
This
Summer
year too.
be coming out.
Yeah,
This year, yes.
Yeah, so they'll be here. So
Wow.
Well, I just thank you for being here with us and
Yes.
sharing.
Yes.
Part of this whole journey is us sharing our stories.
Mhm.
And having women know that they're not alone.
Yes.
We're all going through similar things,
Similar
maybe not
things.
exactly, but very, very similar.
Yeah.
And to hear maybe how somebody else navigated this journey is what this is all about.
It is. We want to make sure that we're sharing. This month is May, so we're celebrating mothers. So we'll have different walks of life because just like it talks about new moms, there's no manual for any of this, whether it be for the beginning when you're a new mom or when your children are leaving the nest. There's no manual. So we want to create a community where you're not alone. So you can listen to some of these stories, get inspired, know that you can do it. Other people have done it, and keep pushing. So that's our goal.
Yeah, and you can always reach out to us if you want to talk to some of these ladies. Everybody that we've talked to are just very open and giving people. And so, Alita, tell us how they can find us because I never remember it all.
You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And I'm going to say this once again because we would love for your comments. I know people always leave comments or text us or call us individually. If there's topics that you want us to speak on or have guests on, please share that with us. If you get some inspiration or anything that you want to share once you've watched these episodes, please drop it in the comments or you can email it to us as well. We would love to hear and be able to share it on our platforms with everybody else. So until next time,
take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.